Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a video on self-defense, like combat type thing, in case you are in a situation where you need to defend yourself or your friends or your family or anything like that. Now, got a couple of things to talk about. Thing is, I am not a professional in this, I just do a lot of research into it. It's an interest of mine, I watch a lot of videos about it. My brother used to do classes and teach me some things. I had family members that could do it and teach me. I have a lot of sources for my information, as well as I watch a lot of action movies, see how they do their combat, and then try and improve it and then add it to what I could do with my disability. Now, first thing, or second thing I guess, because there can't be two first things, can there? No, that's big brain. So, second thing is that this is how I would deal with it in combat situations. Just some tips and stuff. Now, obviously I don't have anyone here with me, unfortunately, to demonstrate everything, so I'm going to be practicing on that metal thing over there. And I'll just be showing you how I deal with it. Now, as well, this isn't how to do self-defense in a wheelchair, because I wouldn't fight in a wheelchair if I had the chance. There's just so many disadvantages to it. There are a lot of advantages as well, but just for my personal fighting style, I can't risk being tipped back, especially because my chair is quite tippy. I've done it where I've hit something, like I've punched walls and trees, obviously not in an angry way, although I have done it annoyed, but like when I've been messing around with my brother and stuff, I'll hit him and go back, so that's something to be aware of. So yeah, this is self-defense for a spinal cord injury, not a wheelchair. I will be doing a wheelchair one later on this week, and then possibly if I can get someone out to record with me, I'll show everything in practice in like a spar session. So for this, obviously not in the wheelchair, just because you can get tipped back, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. But first off, self-defense isn't a specific martial art. It is, for me, a bunch of martial arts mixed together: boxing, karate, taekwondo, krav maga, wing chun, bunch of stuff like that. So this isn't going to be me teaching you certain moves, this is going to be me teaching you certain practices as well. So first things first, the best way to avoid it is just not get into a situation where you're going to be in a fight. If you feel like something's about to happen, get somewhere safe. You want to try and avoid it. Warn family members if you think something's going to happen. But say you can't avoid it, someone's been following you for a while, I don't know. For me, if they had a weapon, obviously just try and ignore it, try and not fight. But I know that isn't the case with certain situations, because some people just could be out to hurt you. I don't know why, but that is a risk. So a little tip that I have is on the wheelchair, taking your armrest off. In my case, they are very good, they got handles. You can do a lot of swings, a lot of different stuff with them. Blocks and attacks, as well as jabs and stuff. And it's also very easy to take off. Now, obviously, I said I wouldn't be fighting in the wheelchair, and that is true, because I would, I'll just set the camera up and then I'll show you. So, obviously, I don't know how well you can hear me, but obviously just getting your legs out, that's important. But then either get these out and then transfer, or you're out the wheelchair because you don't want to be in that because of that, and then you messed up. But you can either get them out, you can either pull it out, and then you've got it for whatever you need to do. However, so stance, kind of similar to how Spider-Man poses, doing some of this shit. Now this is because I'm it's easier for me to balance. You know, I don't have to worry about any of that, and I can quickly and easily put my hands down and I can twist and do all of this stuff on a pivot. Now, that's important if there's a couple of people or one person that's going around. But another thing you can do is hold on to something. You know, you can hit and spin and all of this stuff. All up to you. Now, obviously, it's important to be careful of blocking because it's quite low. It's very easy for kicks to happen. You know, in fact, kicks are probably one of the more problematic things that you find because punches, they'll have to punch down and it's awkward to do that. So kicks are an issue, but it's very easy to deal with them as well. So say a kick was coming. So yeah, for me, I find it easy because I can move my legs a little bit, so I can move my weight as well as kind of like calm my hands down and move. But say that isn't the case, you know, say that isn't something that you can do, you can block. Obviously, depending on the kick, you may need to either plant one hand down and block from the side or from the front, or, you know, sometimes even just grabbing the leg can work. You know, blocking down, again, if it's coming up towards you. It all depends on the situation, which is why I kind of struggle to do these videos, is because everyone has their own different style of defending themselves as well as attacking. You know, I can't tell what your attacker would do. You know, they could get down to your level and tackle you to the floor, in which case there really is no way of like giving tips. It depends on the situation. So yeah, I try and do it near my wheelchair so I can also hold on to it, so you know, I get out of my chair and hold on to it, because then there's more things that I can lean on and move out the way and all of this stuff. You know, it's very situational. So yeah, kicks are the main issue to be worried about. I would always try and do it up against something, so you know, a wall. I try and do it up against a wall, just so then I can either lean back on it, and I know that thing's going to come from behind, because that's something that you need to be aware of, is if you're doing it in a place where it's quite open, you know, you're going to have to be moving a lot, which is why here is good for me, because I can swing off of a lot of things. If I had to stand up, you know, I could always hold on to it, you know, lean up against it, or even, you know, how I did the military thing, you know, I kind of rest my back on it and then do whatever I needed to do. So yeah, that's kind of it. I try and stay low, be careful with kicks. You know, we'll do a full, like, finishing just rounding thing. Everything up, you know, what I do is try and stay low to the ground, because I can use my legs, pivot on all fours, you know, kind of in an animalistic position, quickly turning, making sure you place your hands and legs in very precise positions. Be careful of kicks, because you are so low, it's very easy to happen, or very easy for your attacker to do it. Obviously, I haven't been in a situation where I've had to do this, so I don't know how well it works, but whenever I've played around with my brother and we've been going at each other, that's something that I've dealt with. Now, I'm not going to teach you any attacks really in this, because the way that I prefer to attack is to just pin. Something is happening to you, then you need to de-escalate it rather than hitting back, because then it's this whole thing. As I said, with the wheelchair, you can take the armrests out or the side guards, but that's highly unadvisable unless you're dealing with someone that's trying to use a weapon on you. Another thing is you can take off your wheel. I wouldn't recommend it, because then it's a pain in the ass to put it back on while dealing with everything. There's a lot of movement that's involved, and it takes a lot of effort to focus on what everyone's doing If there's multiple people, you know, again, try and avoid them if you can. Try and avoid any conflict. It's just not worth it. But if you do need to, if someone is attacking you, try and stay low. Be careful of kicks. Don't be afraid to tackle, because one thing that I found is not a lot of people are good at like rolling around on the floor, pinning each other, and hitting while they're down. You know, if you've got someone laying on their back or crouching down like you, then there's a lot of issue there, apparently. I find it a lot easier to do it like that, because I can put my entire weight on them, you know. In fact, it's all a lot easier to shoot with someone with you, but unfortunately I don't have someone with me to demonstrate most of this stuff, so I hope it made sense. You know, I don't know how well it helped. I feel like I've kind of gone over the same couple of points over and over again, but that's because they're just the main important ones, because every fight is different. There's no way to tell what your attacker's going to do. You know, I was saying about being careful of kicks, but also be careful that someone else is also keen to tackle you to the ground, because that's another issue. It really is very situational. Just be aware, you know, there's a lot of awareness, and make it up as you go with self-defense. I can give you tips on things to look out for, but it's always down to you. Put in some training, put in some research. If you watch an action movie, see what they do and see how you can adapt it for yourself and your ability. It's very complicated. So yeah, that's all for today's video, guys. As I said, there'll be a separate video for wheelchair self-defense. Obviously everything depending on your ability. So yeah, if you enjoyed, if you learned something, please leave a like, subscribe, all of that usual stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.